Can be present too to this. The Wabash College Malcolm X Institute of Black Studies is presenting speaker Nate Marshall, whose virtual talk will highlight a day commemorating the life and the leadership of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. I got to briefly speak with Mr. Marshall about this honor. Nate Marshall joins us. He is an award-winning poet. He is a writer, playwright, educator. You're a lot of things. I would call you a Swiss Army knife, but you got more attachments to you than that. But the reason we're speaking with you today is you have the honor of speaking on MLK Day at Wabash College. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely an honor. I started my academic career at Wabash, and so I'm happy to be back in this way.
How does one approach this sort of, what angle are you going to take?
You know, an MLK Day speech is always sort of, it's a difficult thing, right? Because he's such a looming figure in American history. He means so much to so many. And I think his legacy has been used in such a variety of ways. And so, you know, for me, really what I want to try to illuminate for the community at Wabash is the ways that that we sort of have used and misused King's legacy, and to really think about it, particularly in a moment where we're dealing with many of the same issues. Like many of the issues that he was speaking about are still, you know, are in many ways more primary now, right? Mm-hmm. So I think this is a really good moment to revisit his legacy.
Yeah, the light is stark on many of these issues. To what degree have events in the past week or so challenged you, or I kind of envision you, I don't know if you do it on a laptop or if you do it on paper, like ripping it up going, well, okay, we have to take a slightly different angle, but I'm sure they've influenced you in some way.
I mean, yes and no, absolutely, right? So I think in some ways, right, the last week has presented a tremendous trial for the nation writ large. But I think in many ways, right, what the last week illuminated that these issues are important, right? And I think, so in many ways, for me, I find it a kind of opportunity. Mm-hmm. Obviously not wanting these kinds of things to happen,
right,
but understanding that now people who might have been more averse or more resistant to a message that we really have to take these things seriously, mm-hmm, are now a little bit more positioned or conditioned to consider that message.
There are repercussions to our actions, but there are also repercussions to inaction.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think King would have been, you know, is one of the sort of greatest progenitors of this idea, right? Like, you know, he sort of takes this thing right from from like the Jewish tradition where he says like the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice, right? But the sort of piece of that people forget is that we bend it, right? And so I hope to help us think about how we might bend it in these days.
People are going to be intrigued with watching you and hearing you and want to hear more about you and learn more about you. Where can they go for the speech as well as to know about you more?
Yes, absolutely. So if you go to just Wabash's website, wabash.edu, you'll be able to like see the stuff for the speech and get in tune in that way. And if you want to learn more about me, you can just Google as your friend, nate-marshall.com. And you can sort of find whatever you need there.
We'll put those links on indystyle.tv. Thank you for your time, sir. Looking forward to your presentation.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And again, Marshall's virtual talk will take place at 7:30 p.m. Monday. This Monday, the 18th. You can register until noon tomorrow. Again, go to wabash.edu.